Hi, I'm Paris, and I'm putting together my new Ryzen-based video editing system. This is going to replace my 4.5-year-old 4-core Intel system and hopefully cut in half the video editing time. So I'm looking for the fastest components throughout my build here, and I decided rather than go with the solid-state drive, spend a little more money because this motherboard supports the highest speeds. This is the Asus Prime X370 Pro. It'll support the fastest speeds for this M2. This is the next step from solid-state drives. It's just a little board that practically snaps onto the motherboard, and from the benchmarks I've seen, this should be about half again as fast as the pretty fast and expensive 500 gigabyte solid-state drive I've been using.
EpicReviewGuys.
This is not the absolute fastest drive available. Not even in this line they have a 1 terabyte drive that is somewhat faster, but with my build I'm not buying the highest end of anything, not the highest end motherboard. The Ryzen chip I'm going with is the 1700X, not the 1800X. I've usually found the best value is to go one step down from the very best, and you can get pretty close to the very best for a lot less money. This drive goes for about $250. Again, it's the 500 gigabyte drive, and I'll put a link to it down below this video. I'm to the point right now in my build where I'm ready to snap this into the motherboard, and once I have everything up and running, I'll do some benchmark comparisons, transfer speeds, and here's what comes in the box of the Samsung 960 EVO M.2. It's small, and I think the 1 terabyte drive is pretty small too, possibly a little longer, but I'm not sure how many chips are being used on this. I'll see when I install it in the motherboard. Speaking of which, the instructions tell you here how to and how not to. If you're wondering what's on the back of the M.2 drive, nothing. I thought there'd be more of a heat sink, but it's really just, I think it's just the back of that circuit board covered in some non-conducting material. And with the M.2 drive, you don't have to worry about finding a spot to attach it out here or where the cables, power cable, data cable are going to go like with the hard drive or an older solid-state drive. Instead, it attaches right to the motherboard, and it is this slot right here. It almost plugs in like the memory does on laptops. It kind of goes in at a little bit of an angle and slides in, and then you can see the screw holes here. Depending on how long your M.2 drive is, you first put in a post, like an offset here, and then you put the drive in. It should match right up, and then you put a screw in and it holds it in place, coming straight out from this rather than this end going all the way down and touching the motherboard. For the M2 drive that I have, it measures out this long, so I've put the standoff piece here. Next is the drive. There's the drive installed, but not yet screwed down. And there's my 960 EVO drive installed. I'll do some benchmarks comparing it to the solid-state drive that I have in my old system. We'll see how much speed increase I'm going to be getting. Here's the system up and running, and the 960 EVO is snuggled right in here. Now I've used my infrared thermometer on it, and it tends to run between about 85 and 105 degrees Fahrenheit depending on exactly where I put the beam from the infrared thermometer. So let's see what the M2 drive can do. I've got a folder here called Delete Me. It has just over 5 gigabytes of large video files in it. I'm going to have it move that over to my mechanical 3 terabyte drive. And at first there's some, wow, 900 megabyte per second transfer speeds, but pretty soon, once it basically gets past using up all of the buffer, when it actually has to write the data, we're down to standard transfer speeds for mechanical hard drive, 80 and 90. Now transferring that same 5 gigabyte folder from the M2 drive to a solid state drive, a fairly fast one, it's the Samsung 850 Pro. Let's see how that goes. 1.5 gigabyte per second, but it slows down to the 500 megabyte per second, which is as fast as that solid state drive can read. So some nice numbers there, but in the end, it's limited by how fast the drive it's being transferred to can write. Now, a M2 drive to an M2 drive, that ought to be at the full maximum speed. To test that out, let's move from the solid state drive to the M2 drive. 1.6, 1.7 gigabytes per second the whole way. That's mighty fast. So I am plenty satisfied with the speed of the 960 EVO. The issue is Everything else that I need to transfer data to or from is just so much slower. Like with the camera, the SD card, I try to get the fastest I can, but it's still waiting 2-3 minutes to transfer the video files onto the M2 drive, though they could go that fast if only the card could send them out that fast. The M2 drive at writing is more than 3 times as fast as my Samsung 850 Pro, which is 1 generation older, but still a pretty good, pretty speedy solid state drive. It'd be hard for me to go back to using that when I know what speed I can get with this. I'm using this as a video editing system, and I do 4K videos usually, so I have 10 gigabytes of files I'm working with in a given video oftentimes, and it's nice to know that the storage drive isn't the bottleneck. It's pricey, but it's fast. Just like with cars, you gotta pay more to impress the girls. I don't know that this would impress too many girls though. You can find out more about this drive at the link down below this video. I'll be back soon with more videos reviewing some more components of this system and other products. You can keep checking back for those videos, or you can click that subscribe button and the bell next to it down below. You'll get notified when my videos go up, and now you'll get notified that fast.
Epic